I now give the floor to Excellency Ine Eriksen Søreide, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Norway.
Mr. President, Mr. Secretary General, the very first point of the preamble of the UN Charter states that the aim of the United Nations is to save succeeding generations from the scourge of war. And since the beginning, the prevention of conflict has been at the very core of what the UN should do, and it still is. But the changing scope and nature of conflicts presents a challenge to the UN system. Since 2010, the number of major violent conflicts have tripled. Fighting in a growing number of low-intensity conflicts have escalated. And at the same time, UN peacebuilding efforts are severely underfunded. This is a fact, but it's also a collective problem. We need to ensure adequate, predictable, and sustained financing in order to make progress in the sustaining peace agenda. That is why Norway is one of the largest donors to the Peacebuilding Fund, and that is also why we are increasing our contributions in 2018. The recent joint UN World Bank report, Pathways for Peace, clearly shows how and why conflict prevention is crucial. The report also shows a potential of closer collaboration between the UN and the World Bank. The amount spent on crisis response and reconstruction is about $7 billion a year. But the report also shows that at present, the spending and efforts on prevention is only less than $1 billion. So we must shift some of our focus away from managing and responding to crisis and towards preventing conflicts from breaking out in the first place. This will save countless of lives, but it would also mean that we spend our resources more wisely. Achieving the SDGs is both an end in itself and an efficient way to prevent conflict and build lasting peace. But there can be no peace without development, and no development without peace. Norway spends approximately 1% of GNI on ODA, and we will continue to do so. The Sustaining Peace Report of the Secretary General presents many interesting suggestions about financing of peacebuilding. We need to explore these options, including the possibilities of using assessed contributions. The Secretary General points to the fact that millions of dollars are left unutilized in trust funds or returned unspent to member states after having not been spent in peacekeeping operation budgets. Reallocating these kinds of funds for peacebuilding must be further explored. Channeling assessed contributions towards peacebuilding initiatives doesn't necessarily mean an increased financial burden, but rather a reallocation of existing resources. It could be a smarter way of spending our funds. Together with Indonesia, Norway has mobilized to highlight financing issues in the Peacebuilding Commission, and we are committed to continuing this work. I encouraged all fellow member states to join us. Thank you.
I thank the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Norway